afternoon. The trip is 3 miles, and it's Imperial Black who leads, going to the first. From Scott Lane, a kinsman on a promise, and Wayward Lad. Four plain fences then before the first ditch. Imperial Black, Scott Lane, a kinsman, and on a promise, and then Wayward Lad at the first, which they all jumped well, particularly Wayward Lad, who made up a lot of ground. Imperial Black from Scott Lane and a kinsman at the second. A kinsman, a good jump there. To the third, Imperial Black, a kinsman, Scott Lane on a promise, and Wayward Lad. On a promise just brushed to the top of it as they go to the fourth, no change in the order. Imperial Black, Scott Lane on the inner, a kinsman on the outer, Wayward Lad on a promise at the fourth. All jumped well to the first ditch. Imperial Black and Scott Lane. Then a kinsman and Wayward Lad on a promise. Begin the sweep into the home straight for the first time. Imperial Black by length to Scott Lane, by length to a kinsman, by a length to on a promise, by a length to Wayward Lad. Come to the sixth. Three in the air together there were a kinsman, Imperial Black and Scott Lane. Wayward Lad on a promise. Wayward Lad on the inner, on a promise on the stand side at the seventh. There a kinsman led, just shaded Imperial Black. Scott Lane back in third, Wayward Lad fourth, and on a promise at the eighth, a kinsman the leader. Again an indifferent jump by on a promise, loses momentum and several lengths as they come down to the ninth, the second ditch. So the order as they pass us to go to the water jump: a kinsman, Imperial Black, Scott Lane, Wayward Lad the favourite fourth, on a promise fifth. The water, this is the 10th. And Scott Lane goes on from Imperial Black. A kinsman now drop back to third as Wayward Lad creeps closer in fourth, and then on a promise fifth. 8 to jump. Scott Lane, Imperial Black, a kinsman, and Wayward Lad. Then on a promise. To the 11th, and Scott Lane, the leader. A kinsman makes ground on the outside and a bold jump by him. A kinsman, Imperial Black, and Scott Lane, then Wayward Lad, then on a promise, the 12th. A kinsman, Imperial Black, Scott Lane, Wayward Lad, close up in fourth, on a promise just finding the pace a bit hot, the 13th. Where a kinsman didn't jump it particularly well, safely enough. Imperial Black, Scott Lane going well on the inside. Wayward Lad now switch to the outside as they go to the fifth from home. 3 in the air together, closely followed by Wayward Lad, on a promise losing touch, going to the last ditch, 4 from home. Scott Lane, Imperial Black, a kinsman and Wayward Lad, 4 out. And Imperial Black under pressure but responds. Scott Lane in second, a kinsman back in third, Wayward Lad fourth. 3 to jump. Imperial Black from a kinsman, Then Scott Lane now back in third, Wayward Lad in fourth. Wayward Lad goes third on the home turn, and they've got 3 to jump, and Wayward Lad comes on the grandstand side. 3 out. And there Wayward Lad jumped up alongside a Kinsman with Imperial Black on the inner. Scott Lane back in 4, on a promise 5. Wayward Lad goes clear, and they've got 2 to jump. Wayward Lad quickly going clear from a Kinsman. 2 out. Wayward Lad jumps it well, 6 clear from a Kinsman. Then comes Scott Lane and Imperial Black under pressure. 1 to jump, and Wayward Lad still 6 lengths clear. 2 furlongs left to race. 1 more plain fence to jump in this Edward Hanmer Memorial Chase, which the favourite Wayward Lad negotiates safely. A Kinsman is second, Scott Lane third, then Imperial Black 4, on a promise 5, and with a furlong to race, it's the top weight, Wayward Lad, 8 clear from a Kinsman, with Scott Lane staying on for third, well inside the final half furlong, Wayward Lad well clear from a Kinsman.
First, number 1. Second, number 2. Third, number 5. First, number 1, Wayward Lad. Second, number 2, a Kinsman. And the third horse, number 5, Imperial Black. Fourth, number 3, Scott Lane.